It's going to be the most awful blue I ever painted.
Do you go through a lot of brushes?
This one I've had this week. I did those front 6 models with it. And it still seems pretty good, which I'm surprised because I'm used to Michael's brushes being ruined on the first day.
Right.
I know a lot of the better brands have this type of. I mean, this is a normal brush, so I'm sure I could switch to like a Windsor or a Raphael or something and probably get one that would last longer. But for now, for $3, and I did $1,500 worth of miniatures, that was pretty rad. I like it.
And is it a certain type of fibers or whatever in the brush?
I don't know.
Synthetic?
Yeah, it's probably synthetic. Simply
Yeah, that's the
Simmons.
Robert Simmons line. That's the synthetic.
I bought it
it's a
because
pretty
it was-
good line, though.
Filbert is
pretty
the
cool-
type of shape it is?
Yeah,
Yes, the Filbert is
shape.
it. Yeah, when I first heard the name, I was like, oh, it's got some special brand name or something. But no, it's the shape of the brush.
Okay. So it's
Because when I looked it up, there was like 1 million hits on Filbert brushes.
Yeah, it's like
So you
it's
said
the,
it's synthetic or not? It doesn't matter.
For base coating, I've actually switched to synthetic brushes because they put pigment down better. Like they put a even layer of pigment down better and faster. I learned that from there's another painter named Marika Reimer who did a video for Dark Sword Miniatures, and she's one of the best fantasy painters in America right now. And you know, I started watching the video, and she's like, oh yeah, I use this cheapo synthetic brush to put my base coat on. I was like, what? She's like, I put my paint on really thick. What? But when you see her do it, it changes the game right there. You're like, okay, I understand. She gets her first color down there really good. Now what she doesn't do is she doesn't do the shading at the same time as she base coats, which I'm sure if she did, it would probably save her a lot of time. But she'll put that first base coat down and it'll be perfectly, it's the exact color. Whereas I'll put a base coat down and then you have these blotchy areas, and there's for some reason the synthetic lays paint down better, and I don't know why it is. Or it lays paint down in a thicker, more pigmented
more
thing.
consistent.
Which isn't so much good for blending, but it's great for getting that first initial color down.
So what would you recommend for blending then?
I use a Raphael 8404. You can't get them right now because what's the deal with brushes?
okay, the deal is the Kolinsky sable has been declared a endangered species, which is really lame because they're farmed. And they do not kill the animal to take the hairs off of them. However, with that designation and the fact that these animals are only grown in the Soviet Union at this point, the Soviet Union has a little bit of an embargo going on. And so Kolinsky sable brushes are becoming very rare. And so you can't get Series 7 right now. I've got like my fingers out over in Europe. You know, it's like, hey, when you come over for the shows, can you bring me some brushes?
Yeah, we're gonna have like painters getting arrested at the border.
I'm telling you, it's going to be like a commodity.
I mean, because seriously, the company that I paint with every day, like we all use the Raphaels and the Kolinsky sable, and like, I mean, it's a deal breaker right there.
Right.
And I mean, we would seriously be like, okay, get us 200.
Well, you should have seen me and Rick Taylor over in Europe last year. Every time we were in a town that had an art store, we were running around buying everything in the rack, and then he would get to him before I did, and then we were traveling together. So throughout the trip, he would owe me money, and he'd like hand me a handful of brushes. You know, it was hysterical.
Well, I kept hearing rumors about it, and all of a sudden.
They sell them if they can get them. Right now, the racks are empty because they simply can't get them. They can't get them imported because they're not making as many of them, and they're not sending them to the United States because of this import restriction that just recently happened.
So the Raphaels are all gone. Like on Dick Blake, that's where I would normally get them. It's empty.
I
mean, they don't even offer or say, "Oh, these are not available right now." It's just Raphael 8404 and a blank page comes up.
Yep. Well, in the store in Las Vegas, there's signs on the empty bin saying, due to some import restrictions, blah blah blah, we are unable to get these types of brushes right now, and we're sorry for the inconvenience. And they're all over the store. You can't get Series 7 sables, Raphael. I use Da Vinci. Can't get those. All the bins are empty. And my friend that I was telling you about earlier, Bill Merkline, he buys all his sable brushes from the Italian art store in New York City. They called him up and said, we can't give them to you anymore. You got to find something else to paint with. And he does like illustrations for the Smithsonian. So what are you going to do, you know?
I think Obama hates artists.
Well, I don't know if it's an Obama thing or, you know, how many years it's taken.
That's his retaliation for Russia's
well,
involvement in Syria. He's going to.
There's a lot of fantastic Russian painters that might have been this conspiracy. They're like, okay.
Well, that's where I'm at. It's a Russian.
So you'll have to go to your pet store in Las Vegas and get a ferret and make do with ferret.
You're going to have to edit
Same
this
family.
video.
Well, what kills me is like, how come someone over here
It's all
isn't
about brushes, man.
farming
Yeah, right.
Kolinsky's? I mean, if I was a younger person, I'd be all over that. Now you have to. They like a colder climate, so you have to be up north.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
A few years ago, I was reading a thing about them that if it was whatever kind of weather and they didn't produce their heavier coat for the winter, they would be, you know, harvesting the sable enough, you know, so it would be limited then. And I just first I've heard of that, though,
Yeah,
you know, what you're talking about.
right here.
But I've stocked up, like,
yeah. Well, like I said,
every time I used to go to San Diego to the club meeting down there, I'd go buy Blicks and buy them out, or, you know.
Yeah.
I like the Da Vinci Juniors, though, too, because
yeah, the Da Vinci ones are nice.
brushes, and those are, they were cheap and good.
See, I can
But I can't get
stick on
those
one of
either.
those.
Yeah,
You
you
know.
can't get them.
Wipe it off.
I'm glad I got
Yeah.
as many as I did when I was in
It's
Europe.
like an
I'm glad I was
eraser.
paid in brushes.
It's pretty awesome.
That's kind of fun.
It was hilarious. You can like walk up to you. Here, I owe
So,
you $25.
normal two brush blending is usually they use larger size brushes than this. I don't do a whole lot of normal two brush blending, but they'll actually use like a size 2 and a size 3. Normal size brush, but like size 2 or size 3, and that's so they can do that two brush blending. I've actually found that having two of these brushes and doing two brush blending is way better. And this thing just it almost always erases that edge perfectly.
What numbers are those?
It's a 4. It's a 2 and a 4. I know that in
Simply Simmons.
yeah, it's just a Simply Simmons. There was like every single rack had them, and I just picked these because I like the black and white handles. And I was like, I don't want to. They were all the same price, so it was like whatever. Obviously, I think now that I know that I like them, I may like start looking for better quality ones.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's also base coating, and you're gonna
gonna
base
ruin
coating
it.
wrecks your
Yeah,
brushes.
yeah.
So
yeah,
it-
that's why I asked is because of the way that you're handling the paint with the brush right now.
Yeah.
I would kill a brush in like one figure.
Yeah. That's why I'm really surprised. I did 6 figures with this brush, and I think I can still use it. It's starting to splay a little bit at the top, but for this, it's working pretty good.
Do you use when you get done for the day? Do you do a brush conditioning or anything?
I
Or
should.
Yeah. I do.
I've been
but-
doing that lately since Kolinsky Cable's been out live, man. I'm like, okay, I need to clean all my precious. I got like, so I don't care if the brush has a good tip. I care if, well, I take that back. I care if the brush has a good tip. This brush right here is actually kind of rounded on the front. It's still good for maybe base coating, but it's too small to really base coat. So this brush is dead. I've got another brush that's still got a pretty good tip, but it doesn't flatten the way I want it to.
Yeah.
So I like a really fine tip of a brush that I can make flat just like that. And what happens there is once I got my reading glasses on, I can actually see really fine detail. I can do my little da-da-da-da-da highlight and blend that in with that real fine edge. So and also on freehand and stuff, you get those paper thin lines. So it's really important, and as the brush loses hairs, then it stops having that ability to flatten out like that. So I need a really fine tip that can flatten out, and yeah. So I'm kind of sweating right now, but I'll figure something out. I paint every day, so it's
I actually should write an article about the brush situation right now because a lot of people are going, what's going on?
Yeah, maybe it'll do something wrong. The guy that Aaron was talking about earlier, James Wapple, he...
oh, you were there. You
yeah.
probably saw this at his...
Well, I sat there and watched him paint, and he goes, yeah, just use these cheap ones, man. They're from, like, Kmart or
He uses
something.
cheap size 8 rounds.
Yeah, and he'll just bust
Like,
out,
you
like,
gotta be
wet on
kidding.
wet, and just knocks him out. He goes, I want to hurry up and paint this thing, so I'm going to use it to play tonight, you know? And it was some spider, a Reaper spider that he had. And it was just like, man, that's amazing. You know, just to watch him do it.
So
That's confidence is what that is.
Oh,
it
yeah,
is. He knows.
he's
The
really
trick
knows
is
what
put the
he's
colors where you want the colors. I mean, this color palette right here is not the most well thought out color palette, but it works for this. But if you know where your colors are, and what I found is when I'm doing my airbrush, when I prime the model, I prime them black, and then now I've just been putting a white airbrush in. I used to paint them the main color and then go back and repaint areas and use like if I painted it all green, I would come back and wherever the green was really light and maybe that arm needed to be blue, that's where the light blue would go. So I'd use it as a color guide. Well, now I just do it in white and I come back and I paint my colors wherever I want. Now the cool thing is I'll use a little bit thicker paint than normal. I won't thin it out too much so that when I put it on it will cover okay. But when it dries, you know, it always dries darker or lighter if it's over white, it will dry and it'll have that same color information from the darks and my shadows and everything, and so I can still see where my highlights and shadows should go. So it's very.
How did you do that? How did you do the white again?
I did it with an airbrush. So I spray.
Are you actually trying to? You're actually.
I actually like directional light. I'm not. Well, zenithal lighting's straight from above. So the sun's shining over your head is noon, and the light all cascades down right down the middle. I like directional lighting, so like on this girl, it's actually it's subtly brighter on this side of her body than it is on this side of her body, and I like doing that because I think that's more interesting to me. I like when a face is really dynamic and like one side's like really bright, like the guy's like and then the other side's almost really dark. I kind of like that style, and you'll see that a lot in a lot of the European painters that I follow. Have sort of that style. What they don't do is a lot of times have really bright colors along with that, and so I've mixed the American style of really bright colors with the really dark at the same time, like gritty, realistic feel, but really bright and vibrant. So it's kind of my own deal. But the other cool thing is when you spray from even if it's like a 45-degree angle right here, all the black's still under the lips of everything, so you can still see all the bricks perfectly and everything. So it's a lot easier to like okay, that's how the brick should look once it's got color on it. I need to have that same definition. I need it to be dark in these spots, really dark in these spots, really light in these spots, and then you just kind of follow it, and it's like paint by number.
So you primed it in black, and then you just take a white and just spray it.
Spray it,
or,
but it's not. It's not spray it. It's. And then, a little bit more up here. A lot of times I'll come into the waist area and spray that a little bit. I'm purposely putting it exactly where I want it to go.
But you're using the white basically as your light.
Yes. It's telling me where my light is.
So you're getting the angle of your light.
And it's setting everything up. It's setting me up for success in the long run because I've got my light where it's supposed to be. Unless there's some weird OSL thing going on where you have an outsourced light, like a light bulb's down here and it's shining on the pans. But otherwise, you're going to have your lights in the right spot. And then they carry over to the whole figure, because if you've ever seen someone highlight something that's a really beautiful face and the light is clearly on this side, and then they highlight this shoulder brighter than this shoulder, and so now your light's like, you're like, where did the light come from? It's everywhere,
Well, I'm just because I'm like a novice. If I just took a can and sprayed it,
you could take a can and spray
it.
You could totally do that. In fact, most of the videos you see online from the European guys, they just spray it because they just want to do it quick. But the thing you'll find when you start doing that, you'll start noticing where all the lights and shadows are supposed to go. It starts like just being second nature. And so when you start painting, even if it's an area that doesn't have a lot of color or light information, because maybe you just missed it, it's a pouch over here,